Alright, we're back with some more finals gameplay, and I've been saying for a while that I wanted to get some more medium gameplay up on the channel. Finally doing that here. We have a medium gameplay with, it's pretty much the normal loadout, like gadget and spec-wise, but there is something like pretty different compared to what I usually use. We're running the model, so that's what makes this gameplay unique compared to most medium games. I tend to stick to the ARs, but recently, a couple days ago, I had a idea that I thought would be pretty fun. Haven't uploaded anything off of it yet. I think I'm just gonna let the first one be like a trial run, and I'll try it again next week and maybe upload some of those. But the idea was to do RNG tourneys. So what I did is I figured out the numbers for like each contestant, what like how many weapons they have, how many gadgets, how many specs, whatever, because it is a little bit different actually. Some of them are a little bit different for different contestants. For example, light has the most weapon options. Medium and heavy actually have the same amount of weapons, but yeah, light has more weapons than medium or heavy, and heavy has one more spec than the other two, than medium or light. So there's some other things too. Like I think the gadget count is a little bit different for, again, like maybe light compared to medium and heavy, I think, if I recall correctly. I'm not 100% sure, but I figured all that out and just RNG'd everything and just ran a few tourneys like that. And again, the first one probably just like a live trial run, and next week I think I'll try it again and maybe upload some of those. But I tried that, and some of them were, unsurprisingly pretty frustrating and pretty hard to make work, especially in solo queue. And other ones I was like, okay, there's kind of something here. Like there's kind of something here. Like I'm kind of having fun. I want to check out more of this. And that was the like primary idea of the RNG stuff, I would say, is like not just like for the RNG tourneys themselves, like not just to upload those themselves, but also just give me trying different stuff, and give me ideas for some things that I can use that I maybe like don't use that often. And maybe I find some stuff that I enjoy, maybe I find some stuff that I don't like, find some things that I want to experiment with more, whatever it may be. That was kind of the idea, and that worked out. So what I found, like the two main things, is the model. I had a tourney with the model, with the RNGs that I thought was really fun, and I was like, okay, I got to use the model more. I got to try this out again. And then also back to the sledge. I had to use the sledge. I used quite a bit of different melee options, but my favorite was the sledge. I didn't really like the spear too much, because I don't love the left trigger. I think I think it'd be like right click probably on PC, but I don't love the animation attack on the spear. So I didn't really like the spear too much. I liked the katana, or I don't know, I always call it the katana. I think it's just a sword. But the sword on light, I actually thought that was really fun too. So the sword and the sledgehammer, I thought those were really fun. Thought the model was really fun. And so I was like, okay, I gotta do some of these normally, like not necessarily an RNG loadout, but just use a normal loadout, try these, or try a loadout that I think like fits around these, play more with them, because I thought they were pretty fun. And so this is a tourney that I got doing that with the model, and this is one of the craziest tourneys that I've had in a long time. You'll see the final score, skipping around, edited this one pretty hard, tried to include all the elims, most of the assists if I could as well. Just showcase most of the action, but it's a pretty sweet tourney. It's not the craziest money-wise. I am playing solo queue, so you never know how objective focused, how good your teammates are going to be at that. So it's not the craziest tourney in terms of that, but in terms of just like going off like score-wise and KD-wise and whatnot, it's pretty good. Probably the best medium tourney that I've played on the season when it comes to that. And again, with the model, which I don't normally use. So like, I think this gun's really strong, and I definitely gotta use it more. I know I'm kind of like jumping around place to place here early on in this commentary. I guess it's a long one. I can let it breathe a little bit. But yeah, I think this is my new favorite gun to use in the game. There's a few things that I don't like about it, and they have to do with the reload. The reload animation is really cool, but it is also really long, and it's like kind of janky. There's some weird aspects to it. Like if you reload at a certain time, the reload animation will reload 2 shells separately, but it doesn't count until the second one. So I've noticed this. I don't remember exactly if it's like the empty reload, like if you fully empty Oh, we just see it right there. I don't think it is the empty reload. I think it's when you, like, let's say you have a full 6 shots, and I think shoot 2 of them, and then you go to reload those 2. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm getting things mixed up here and it works this way with the KS-23, I'm pretty sure it is the model that works this way, though. No, it is, because right there, we just saw it. Okay, yeah, it's like, it's kind of delayed. So if you shoot 2 shots and you reload, that first shell, when it goes in on the animation, it's not like really counted until like the second one goes in. It like counts by 2 instead of 1, even though the animation shows like both of them separately. I don't know if that made sense, but it's weird. It's weird. It's not something you're used to with like a shotgun reload, but that's how it works. So that took some getting used to, because obviously like when it comes to like reload canceling, that's like pretty important. And that's the other thing. So like that weird aspect of the reload, how like it counts oddly. Like right there you saw I put a shell in, and I'm pretty sure it didn't count. I'm pretty sure I didn't get an extra one. So there's like weird aspect like that. And then the reload canceling, so shotguns in games, you know, I'm used to being able to I'm used to like the super arcadey you know, old Halo, old like Counter-Strike even, where you load in the shells and you can just like cancel the reload at like any time and just shoot. Like that's just how shotguns work in games. That's just how I'm used to it. But they're a little more restrictive on the reload canceling. So like you can cancel the reload as long as you're in the part of the animation where like a shell has already been loaded. But if you're in the part of the animation where a shell is like currently being loaded and it's like in the middle of that, you kind of have to wait for that to finish. So the reload canceling is like really weird, and it doesn't really work exactly like how I'm used to. The way that I would describe it is like, I don't remember if it actually worked this way in MW19, but this is like something they would do in MW19. You know, take a realism angle with like the reload animation and make it work that way. That's kind of how I think about it. But yeah, that's something that I don't love, and it's taken some getting used to, because I'm like lining up shots and expecting to be able to take those shots, to be able to just like cancel the reload like I'm used to in like any other game that I play. But you're not able to do that. You have to do it a little bit differently, and that's kind of like thrown my pacing off with the shots a little bit in some situations. So yeah, like the reload speed, the reload animation, the weird quirks about it, that's the one thing about the model that I don't really love. Other than that, I think this gun is incredibly strong. I think this is, I'm almost regretting putting it in A tier and not S in the tier list. Even though I think my logic made sense, like 100% made sense. I think this gun's pretty hard to use, and I think like the average medium player will probably get more out of using the AK than the model, I think. Even like the above average medium player probably will get more out of using the AK, I would think, in like general situations. But if you're like, if you work on this gun and you get your shot really dialed in with this gun in particular, and you can really land those shots consistently, and you have a good team around you, I think that's pretty important too. This thing can deal a lot of damage. So the reason why I mentioned the good team around you is because there's a lot of situations with the model, especially against other mediums, where you'll do like, I swear, like 240 damage, but there'll be like 10 HP left. So obviously, you know, if you're on your own, it kind of sucks having to wait for that third shot, and that can get you killed a lot of the time. But if you have a teammate putting in some chip damage and just getting like 1 bullet in on a guy, then you're like 2-hitting them. And that's obviously like a lot quicker. They're going down like super fast, dealing a lot of damage there. So you're going to get like more assists and like less kills potentially that way. It kind of depends. So that's kind of unfortunate if you want the stats. But in terms of just like wiping teams, like, yeah, if you have a team that's really good at putting in chip damage while you're putting in like heavy damage with the model, it works really well in like a team shot environment. And it's pretty good in like 1v1s too. Like the way you can finesse cover with this thing, the amount of burst damage that you can do just like quick peeking, it's really hard to compete with. Like there's only like so many weapons that can really compete with it. And then also you can just get super cracked with this loadout. I mean, you run the movement medium loadout that I've got on here. You got the zip, the pad. You can just like fly around the map with this thing, just dealing shitloads of damage. And the range is like even better. Like right there at that range, I'm like probably 2-hitting that light if I hit the second shot. So the range is like even better than you think. This thing is kind of crazy. I think the model is, after using it now, I think it's probably one of the best weapons in the game. Like I think it's easily top 5. It could even be top 3 maybe. I don't know. This thing's really good. But yeah, see like that fight there up close, just line up the shots. That is one thing I would say if you try out this gun for yourself. That's the biggest piece of advice I'd say is like, don't rush the shots. Take your time and line them up, because the better lined up they're going to be, the more damage you're going to do. And it is definitely worth it. Like if you take rushed shots with the model, you can have a lot of shots where you're just like not doing any damage and you'll just think this gun's terrible. So yeah, even if it takes like another, you know, quarter of a second to line up a good shot, you would rather do that than taking a quick like shitty shot, because it's not going to do a lot of damage. So take your time, line up those shots, you know, make sure you're doing the max damage when you do shoot. Even if you die, it'll be better for your teammates if you do that. So yeah, take your time, do that, and just use it, put practice in, and you'll realize that this is like, yeah, one of the best weapons in the game. I think it's incredible. You'll definitely see on stream, and if I do more videos with the model, like you'll definitely see some more gameplay from me with this thing, because I want to keep using it. I want to keep getting better with it, because if they ever bring back ranked cash out, I think I would actually prefer, ideally, running this on medium over like the AK or the FCAR or even the FAMAS if possible. Like I think I'd prefer running the model. I definitely prefer it over the revolver, that I'll say for sure. I did try out the revolver in the RNGs. I don't remember if it was the RNGs or if I was just trying it for fun. I tried that, and you'd probably think that like, oh, could that be like a competitor to the model? Like could that be better? And it's like, yeah, in theory, yeah, it could be. But personally, I just don't really like the revolver. There's just a lot of things about it, like the ammo, the damage that it does, the emphasis on getting headshots. I think the model's pretty hard to use, but I think it's easier to use than the revolver, and I think it packs a very similar punch, arguably a better punch even. So I would stick with the model and stay away from the revolver. But yeah, I don't have much else to say on the model other than it's cracked. Give it a shot. I had a lot of fun with it in this tourney. This gameplay is definitely winding down. We're in the end of this this final here. I'm gonna try to do one more video on this game pretty like soon over the weekend. I'm gonna try to throw up a 222k cash out tourney that I had, so that'll be a similar gameplay to this one with just like highlights throughout it. It was me with a Randy team, just seriously like randoms. I wasn't like queuing with anyone, and we just ran the objective in this one tourney. We got every cash out except for one. We only missed one, and we only wiped once. We got 222k for that tourney, and we could have got like 240, like 246, 247, something like that. So somewhere in that realm. So it was really good, and it could have been even better, but it was the highest cash out tourney that I've had this season. So if you're all about that leaderboard climb and like the objective game, I'm definitely going to throw that one up. I think it'll be a pretty fun one to watch, the way that we work the objectives and get all the cash outs in that tourney. And again, it is my personal record. I hadn't broken into 200k for a tourney. I've come pretty close, but I hadn't quite done it yet. So that was pretty cool to have a tourney where I pulled that off. So I'll definitely throw that one up too. And then probably a little break over the weekend, working on getting the racing stuff back up and playing some other games too. So probably a little break there, but we'll be back with some more final stuff. Again, maybe I'll give the RNGs another shot next week and actually upload them. Maybe I'll do like some live stuff. I don't know. We'll switch it up. We'll keep switching it up. I don't want every video to be the same, even with this one, like showing the whole tourney gameplay. I want to keep switching it up. So there you go. Final score. Got the 40 bomb. Pretty sick. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.